In the second World Data Forum was hosted by the Federal Competitiveness and Statistics Authority of the United Arab Emirates. Forum was held between 22nd to 24th October 2018 in Dubai. In the forum, we had more sessions than the previous 87 sessions. We had 2,000 participants, and again, over 100 countries were represented. And we had 376 speakers and moderators in the second forum. This year, the forum will be held in a virtual platform, which of course is very useful because it will allow participants from every corner of the world to join the discussions, the sessions. The dates will be 19 to 21 October 2020. And next year, we shall have a UN World Data Forum in Bern, hosted by the Federal Statistical Office of Switzerland, between the 3rd and 6th October 2021 next year. This is a bit close to the current forum, but of course the pandemic made us organize this virtual forum in place of the original physical forum, and next year we will have a physical forum. The program of the UN World Data Forum is organized around 6 main thematic areas, covering a wide range of topics, and developed through an open call for session proposals. This year we received more than 500 session proposals, and the program committee, with the support, with very able and important support from the Secretariat, went through a rigorous process to shortlist these proposals. Contributions under each thematic area were chosen based on the key requirements which were defined in advance. The sessions should showcase practical solutions and hands-on experiences. They contribute to delivering better data for evidence-based policymaking, and they also address pressing issues faced by the global data and statistical communities. The 6 thematic areas include supporting transformation of modern data ecosystems in countries. This is thematic area 1. Under thematic area 2, the aim is to bring data sources together and creating an enabling environment for the integration and leveraging of various data sources and methodologies. Under the 3rd thematic area, the aim is to generate and leverage data and statistics to ensure visibility and voice for everyone. Under the thematic area 4, we aim to communicate data, to discuss communication of data, making data and statistics accessible and relevant to the user and usable to users, increasing data and statistical literacy and data communication, as well as strengthening the use of data in journalism and other communication platforms. Under thematic area 5, building trust, the aim is to apply data principles and governance to new and existing data sources, and to implement open data principles and practices. And thematic area 6 looks at the implementation of the Cape Town Global Action Plan, launched during the first UN World Data Forum in Cape Town. And we also discuss financing of data and statistics, addressing emerging challenges and identifying gaps to fully harness the power of data to improve people's lives. I think after this introduction, I should have started by introducing myself. I'm sorry, I was too eager to start the introduction of the forum itself. So let me introduce myself now. My name is Gabriela Vukovic. I'm a chief statistician of Hungary, and as such, I'm also president of the Hungarian Central Statistical Office. I am chair of the program committee of the current UN World Data Forum, and I'm also a member and a former co-chair of the HLG Partnership Coordination Capacity Building for Statistics for the 2030 Agenda. Now, I would like to hand over to Johannes Jutting, who is Executive Head of Partnership in Statistics for Development in the 21st Century, maybe better known as Paris 21. And Johannes is also a member of the Program Committee. And I would like to ask you, Johannes, now to share the outcomes of the past forums. I would like to stress also that Johannes was a member of both previous program committees. And if I remember correctly, Johannes, you were also chair of the first program committee. So please go ahead and let us know about previous data fora.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. Good morning, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure for me to be part of this exciting webinar. I will be very brief because I think you might be all looking forward to hear more about not more about past events, but more about what is coming up. But I think it's still useful to reflect a bit about the main outcomes of World Data Forum that has happened in the past. So I was thinking, maybe from my perspective, there are three main outcomes. One is certainly that in the past fora we achieved the development of some key documents that have enabled us to influence the debate in data and statistics overall. If you look at and here's a little typo, the first World Data Forum was in 2016 in Cape Town. And the first World Data Forum is very much associated with the Cape Town Global Action Plan for Sustainable Development Data. This outcome document has really, I would say, shaped the conversation around data for development, data and statistics for development in the years thereafter. And you could see that the importance of such kind of a document is that it was quoted extensively, not only in the statistical community, but also in the aid and development cooperation field. And this matters because, as you can understand, many of the support given to data and statistics in poor countries depend on if aid agencies are convinced that this is a good thing to invest in data and statistical systems in poor countries. So I think from that perspective, the outcome from the first World Data Forum in Cape Town was really very good, this Cape Town Action Plan. And you can see the benefit of those kind of things. Then the Dubai Declaration is a natural follow-on. It dived a little bit deeper into the funding modalities, how the Cape Town Action Plan can be funded, what kind of new funding mechanisms are available. And in the 2020 virtual UN World Data Forum, the idea is to launch the data community's response to COVID-19. Of course, current conversations are very much about data to combat the pandemic, but also to basically help us inform about building back better, ensuring a resilient recovery, and also reaching out to people who are left behind or who are vulnerable to the pandemic and other shocks. So in that sense, the 2020 virtual forum is yet going into another area. But as you can see, they are all connected. Now very quickly, so these are more the output documents, the statements afterwards. I think a second important outcome of these fora have been the connecting of different communities. I think Gabriela mentioned this briefly in her introduction. To the World Data Forum usually come people from different data communities, but also from different policy fields. There could be data scientists working on APIs, on machine learning, to people who are more sociologists, or people coming more from the development field. or people coming from other parts of the statistical community, of course. So it's a very nice gathering. Of course, the challenge for this year will be, it will be virtual. And one needs to see of how we can best connect, but certainly the benefit of the last two was very much connecting these different communities. And last but not least, and I want to end with this, so you can hear more about what exciting things are coming up. It has been great fun too, I have to say. I mean, I was involved, as Gabriela said, I was a co-chair of the first one program committee, and I was there from the beginning. It's a great team from the UN supporting this. It's very dedicated people. And I have to say, I mean, unfortunately, we can't see us in person, but that will be next year. And for this one, we will also have, I'm sure, great fun too. So it's not all so serious, and it's also good to see that statisticians and data people can have great fun. So with this, maybe, Madam Chair, I close, and I hope that was useful. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to just say a few words. Thank you. To you, Gabriela.
Thank you, Johannes. This was really worth listening to. And now I would like to ask Shaida Badi to take the floor. Shaida will introduce the 2020 Virtual UN World Data Forum. Shaida is co-founder and managing director of Open Data Watch, an NGO focused on monitoring and promoting open data in national statistical offices. She is currently a member of the program committee, and she also served as a member of the program committee for the second UN World Data Forum. Shaida, please.
Thank you, Gabriela, and warm greetings to everyone wherever you are. As you've heard by now, we're sort of an excited group of program committee members preparing for the virtual World Data Forum. And this would, as you heard from Gabriela and from Johannes, this will be, we are coming from, learn a lot from the first two in-person World Data Forum, and of course preparing for the third World Data Forum in Bern, in person in Bern, hosted by the Federal Statistical Office of Switzerland. But I must say that I'm really glad that the UN, the Program Committee, and the high-level group of the UN Statistical Commission have decided to have this virtual forum. There was a lot of discussions whether we should just wait for the in-person one or whether it makes sense to have a virtual one. And it does look like it's really, data is, in the time of COVID, is so important that we do need to have a virtual forum to, as we know, to explore what are the innovative approaches that we can work together, what are some of the knowledge that we can share, and and whether we can, there are any new initiatives that we can launch, and also really to give a presence and give a voice to the statisticians and all the people who are really working hard on data and production of data and making data open and usable. So I'm super excited. Ferial, I think you have some slides for me if you want to move to those slides. But in general, I wanted to give you an overall view of the virtual World Data Forum. The first thing I wanted to say is that this is the first time we're doing it. And we are learning a lot. So we're also asking for a lot of forgiveness on any mistakes that we made. The platform is the first time we use, and the whole arrangement is the first time. So my congratulations to the Secretariat at the UN Statistical Division for actually doing such an amazing job so far, putting this together. So the virtual forum, just a little bit more about it, is going to be, as you heard, from the 19th to 21st of October. And the registration is already open, and I tell you a little bit more about it. Just an overview of the program, although it starts from the 19th, but we'll have a few other goodies on the platform for you that starts earlier on the 12th. But on the 19th, we will have the opening session, and then there would be a high-level session on data in time of COVID, which we are looking forward, and we have some surprise high-level presenters and panelists for that session. Then on that day, we have 9 parallel sessions that's been organized, covering a whole range from the thematic areas that Gabriela actually mentioned to you. Then on the second day, which is October 20th, which actually happens to be also World Statistics Day, we have a high-level panel. The day starts with a high-level panel on a very important topic on trust, privacy, and data governance. And then it's going to be a full day, really busy day with 12 parallel sessions for that day. And on the third day, which is the final day, we will have one more high-level panel on leaving no one behind, and we will have 11 parallel sessions, and then we have a closing session. So the parallel sessions, of course, all is going to be live sessions. All the sessions that I mentioned would be live, but we will be also recording them. So if there's a topic that you will see that you like that you cannot attend, you can always go back and look at it later on. So this is a very ambitious and very exciting program that's been put together for all the live sessions, but we will also have a number of pre-recorded sessions. So the live sessions will be over 30 sessions of live sessions, and there's going to be around another 30 or so sessions on pre-recorded sessions that would be open on the 12th. And you can of course be reviewing them at whenever you have the time, and they would be there. So it doesn't have to be happening exactly on those days. So you can even spend your weekends watching them. Then another exciting thing that I want to mention to you is that the UN Statistics team has selected a very exciting platform for helping us with the World Data Forum, which some of you may have heard is Attendify. And the platform actually provides a lot of features so that you can register. For example, right now it's open for registration, and it would be good for you to register and get your ticket. We're hoping to accommodate a lot of users, but there would be a limitation on the number of tickets that could be issued by the platform. So if there is something exciting that you want to see, please go ahead and register. In addition, you can also create what's called a sort of a personal, your own profile, a personal profile. And there are a number of very exciting features that you can see on the platform. Aside from seeing the live sessions, you can do networking. There would be an exhibit space for promoting innovative approaches. There would be some competitions. One of them you've seen on the social media that we have started on youth video competition, that we will see the exciting result of that competition. And there will be a lot of opportunities for collaboration, and sort of nothing makes up for being in person. But I think this would be this is a good platform for making sure that we not only just listen, but participate, put your questions, and also a chance for partnership and building and exploring, sharing of knowledge. I think that's all I have here. And of course, we are standing ready for answering any questions that you have. Over to you, Gabriela.
Thank you, Shaida. You made this extremely attractive even to those who already knew what more or less the program was going to be. So thank you for this enthusiasm with which you introduced the forum. Now I would like to give the floor first to Anna Lerner. She's one of the two session organizers who joined us today for this information session. The session organizers will bring unique experiences and provide highlights of what to expect during the forum. Anna is the first session organizer to speak, is the program manager of Global Impact at Facebook. I welcome Anna to talk about her session, which is private sector innovation for SDGs, integrating non-commercial data resources to support pandemic response and sustainable development. Anna, please, you have the floor.
it's an opportunity to share some teasers about the session later on in October, where we obviously hope a lot of you will register and tune in. So my name is Anna Lerner. I lead Facebook's data for SDG work. I spent a bunch of years in Southern Africa at the beginning of my career working on data and technology based in Mozambique. Then I moved over to the World Bank, and I was 7 years in DC, where I sat in the ICT team. I also worked on data innovations. And then for the last almost 3 years, I've been at Facebook working in our Project 17 team. So next slide, please. Last fall, Facebook announced its commitment to help achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals. As I mentioned, we call this effort Project 17, and we think of it as Facebook's long-term partnership approach to help drive progress on the SDGs. Our name obviously draws on the SDG 17, which, as you all know, is the partnership goal. And we're firmly rooted in the notion that partnership is key to unlocking progress and innovation that is needed to get us closer to the goals. The UN community keeps reminding us that one of the biggest barriers to achieving this time and data, and who we are as Facebook and the unique nature of our data, we decided that increasing the availability and use of data as it relates to the SDGs is a meaningful way for Facebook to contribute. Based on feedback from partners and experts like yourselves, we decided that our first focus area would be gender data. Next slide, please. So last year at UNGA, our COO, Sheryl Sandberg, met with a group of senior gender and development experts, asking them to identify questions around the lives and the needs of girls and women that they are unable to answer with current data and resources. Since then, teams at Facebook have been hard at work understanding and addressing barriers to gender equality that are brought about by the lack of reliable sex disaggregated and gender data. We've already started releasing a bunch of gender data resources, and more will be announced next week during UNGA. You can actually see the link to our session for registering for our UNGA session here on this slide. It's dataforsdgs.splashthat.com. And I believe my colleague Samir is also dropping some of the links in the chat window for you to access them more easily. However, we all know that just releasing data isn't enough. We need to make sure that the data is meaningful and useful to NGOs, statistical and international organizations. And in some cases, we've learned that we actually need to help build the skills inside our partner organizations for them to be able to use the data sets that we're releasing. And this comes, I think, naturally as this type of non-traditional, non-conventional data sets are different, really large, and sometimes require capacity that not all of our partner organizations have. So our ecosystem investment program does just this. It aims to strengthen the overall ecosystem and build relevant data analytics skills across organizations that we work with. Currently, we're actually offering a free online course in partnership with Tech Change that's called Gender Data 101. It ran once already, and we had massive interest from all around the world. I think it was 80 plus countries, representatives from 80 plus countries were registered to take the course. And we're now opening it free again for self-paced learning. So anyone can check that out. We've also worked with DevEx this summer to run a series of webinars that were focused on gender data and COVID, specifically the impact on gender, women and girls from COVID. All right, next slide. So this all brings me to the session that we're hosting at the UN World Data Forum in October. Several private sector companies have started or continued impactful programs around ecosystem investment, tooling, or data sharing focused on the UN SDGs. Over the last couple of months, many of us have come together to coordinate our approaches learn from each other, and started thinking about how we can all do more, better, and faster to respond to the need. This is new also for private sector companies. So there's a lot of learnings all the time. We've found that kind of creating our own little community and sharing lessons and successes and failures in our approaches has been really meaningful. The panel we're inviting you to in October is called Private Sector Innovation for the SDGs. The session will focus on integrating non-commercial data resources, so more of the type of data that private sector companies are likely to be able to share, in order to support pandemic response and sustainable development. It will feature companies like Salesforce, Google.org, ourselves, and others. So just before I leave you, what do we mean with integrating non-commercial data? Well, we'll have a bunch of really interesting examples to share during the panel, and I won't give you all of them now because then you won't tune in. But I'll mention 2 examples. So, for example, in partnership with World Bank, Equal Measures 2030, and Ladysmith, a feminist research organization, Facebook has been running a global survey to better understand the impact on COVID on gender equality in people's homes. So here we worked with the World Bank's LSMS team, their survey team, to make sure that our survey would ask similar questions to their household surveys, and make sure online survey would complement their other data inputs. And I think this is really important. This is where the dialogue and the partnership is so important between statistical organizations, international organizations, and private companies. If we would just have run our survey sort of independently for what we thought was most useful, we probably would have missed the mark of designing it so that it would be really useful to our partners. The other example I'll share as well is how Facebook's Data for Good work has been really important for a lot of organizations setting up first response to the global pandemic. We have movement data that we are able to share in a very highly aggregated and privacy preserving way. And that has been helpful for both research efforts, but also trying to understand how people are moving during lockdowns, etc. And all of this you can find actually at Facebook's Data for Good website. It's a really good website with all of the resources of data sets and trainings that we have shared. So in summary, I would encourage you all to register for our panel if you're interested in learning more about what tech companies are currently doing to facilitate the integration of non-commercial data resources, how we're investing in strengthening the ecosystem, and how we think about our role in building back better or accelerating the pace to achieve the goals, specifically in light of this current pandemic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. No need to stress how important it is to have private sector cooperation with other sectors in this challenging time of data production and data use. Our second session organizer, who will speak to you during this session, is Maeve O'Reilly. She's policy advisor at Lerner, Cheshire. I welcome Maeve to provide highlights of her session, which the title of which is Citizen Power, Sharing Citizen-Led Data Tools and Catalyzing Partnerships with Official Data Communities to Respond to COVID-19. This session is scheduled to take place on 21st October during the virtual data forum. Maeve, please take the floor.
Thank you, Gabriella. Hi, everyone. My name is Maeve O'Reilly, and I'm a policy advisor at Lerner, Cheshire, which is an international pan-disability organisation. And thank you so much for inviting us here today. I'm really pleased to introduce a bit more about our session, which is co-organised with Lerner, Cheshire, Humanity and Inclusion, Restless Development and Civicus. So what is our session all about? This session is all about finding practical ways that the official data community, so I'm talking about governments, statistics offices and researchers and so on, how they can work with citizens, and particularly those from the most marginalized groups, to solve data gaps and to ensure that responses to COVID-19 and efforts to achieve the SDGs more generally are inclusive of those groups. So in this session, we will showcase 3 innovative tools led by these people. So led by persons with disabilities, young people, and civic space defenders, and then fostering a discussion between these citizen data leaders and official data community representatives to explore opportunities for collaboration. So if we go to the next slide, please. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3 different citizen-generated data tools that will be presented. So first circle there, you can see the Inclusion Counts Disability Data Tracker. So this will be presented by disability rights advocates from 3 organizations, the Kenya Paraplegic Organization, the Alliance of Urban DPOs in Chittagong, Bangladesh, and the Ethiopian National Association of Persons with Disabilities. And this tool was developed by Lerner, Cheshire, HI, and the UN Office of the High Commissioner on Human Rights. And this tool kind of uses these UN human rights indicators to allow organizations of persons with disabilities to monitor implementation of laws and policies and check that they're in compliance with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and to use that data to advocate for disability inclusive SDG implementation. Then if you look in the middle, we have the development alternative. So this is a consortium led by Restless Development called the Development Alternative. And this consortium wants to shift the power to communities and to young people so they can hold development actors to account for development programs that are happening within their communities. So this session will be presented by 2 youth leaders who use their phone to record improvements that should happen within development programs in their community and feed that back to those organizations. And then the final initiative is the Civicus Monitor. So Civicus has worked for 2 decades strengthening citizen action and civil society around the world. And the Civicus Monitor is a research tool that was built by civil society, and it shares up-to-date data on the state of civil society freedom in all countries over the world via an interactive world map. So on the next slide, okay, so after we heard from those 3 different citizen-led data tools, we'll have a response from members of the official data community. So we're joined by a really kind of interesting group here. We have the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, we have the UK Office for National Statistics, and we have the Office of the Prime Minister of Bangladesh A2I programme, which is access to information, kind of looking at data for policy and SDG reporting. And then finally, the Overseas Development Institute as well. So in this part of the session, these representatives will sort of respond to the citizen-led initiatives that were presented, and they'll highlight the different opportunities or challenges that they see in regards to kind of how they could collaborate with them. And they'll also kind of share a bit about their own experience working on inclusive data and data disaggregation, kind of in relation to the SDGs, but also in response to this current crisis we find ourselves in with COVID. So that will kind of lead us into a bit of a discussion, sort of a Q&A. But I guess like what I really want to stress is, we don't want this collaboration to just start and end with an event. We want this Q&A to present or to kind of come out with some very concrete outcomes, some kind of recommendations for how these 2 groups can work together. So we'll be pulling that together based on the discussion and based on the experience of the various organizations involved. So I'd really encourage anyone listening to come along so you can be part of that and part of like contributing to those kind of recommendations that will be pulled together in this document. So yeah, we're really excited about it. It should be a really kind of vibrant discussion and very action oriented as well. So I hope to see many of you there. And that's it for me. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Maeve, for this really inviting invitation. Now, our next speaker will be Faryal Ahmed, who will provide highlights of the activities linked to the UN World Data Forum. Faryal is an associate expert at the United Nations Statistics Division, and she's part of the core team at the UN World Data Forum Secretariat, responsible for organizing the UN World Data Forum. Faryal, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Gabriella, and thanks everyone for the overview so far. We're very excited for the forum, and we very much look forward for all of you to attend the forum. I would like to re-emphasize the dates: it's 19th to 21st of October. You can get more information on the forum and its activities on our website. So I'll just give a quick overview of some of the activities that we have ongoing for the forum. This is to encourage participation from various groups. So one of them is a youth video documentary competition that Shaida also briefly mentioned. The details for the video competition are also available on the website, but just to give you a quick overview, the competition is open to people from the age of 15 and 24, targeting the youth, and we would like to hear how does better data impact your life, your family, local community, and change the world for the better. We expect the young people to submit videos to us, and it could be from the phone or the cameras or whatever technology they have available. Send your 1-minute video to us by the 30th of September to the data forum at UN.org. And we have a little bit of detailed guidelines for the video on the website. So generally, you can submit it in the 6 UN languages with English translation subtitles, and how the video competition needs to have horizontal framing. So all of that detail is available for you on the website. Next slide. So we also have this photo campaign on Twitter. So if you can upload your picture, and also sharing how you use and produce data for a changing world. You can use the hashtag 2020 Virtual UN Data Forum. So you can over here see that we already have a couple of photos posted on the Twitter page. We have Johannes's, who was his speaker a few minutes back, who talked about the outcomes of the forum. And we also have a photo campaign here from Open Data Watch. So we have all the people working behind the scenes at Open Data Watch post their campaign. So feel free to post your picture, a message of something that you would like to share with the data and statistics community, and to start the conversation. Other than that, we also have the blogs on the World Data Forum website. So if you want to see blogs from experts, we have it on different topics. The most recent one that we had published was on building trust with ethics of data sharing. It was by Shimonti Paul. And we also had some on the what innovation is brought by the COVID-19 crisis that we're facing right now. So keep yourself up to date through the Twitter page as well, where we keep sharing any details on the blogs, video competition, or any of the campaigns that we carry out. Yeah, so here you can see the website. So you can see we have the blog shared here. So we would welcome all of you to explore the website as well as the platform. We will share more details shortly. I'll give it back to you, Gabriella, and then we can move forward to it with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faryal. I would like to ask now everybody who is attending this session to leave any questions in the chat window, if you haven't done so already. And I would like to hand over to the core team of organizers of the UNWDF Data Forum, Jan-Mark Rutherford, Paul Pacheco, and Faryal Ahmed, to respond to your questions. So now we start the questions and answer session.
Thank you, Gabriella. Ian Rutherford here, who's part, along with Faryal and Paul Pacheco, as part of the core team. So please send your questions. We've seen a few. I think we've responded to some. I mean, we'll go in a minute to the registration, which I think is a very important part of giving you access to, as I think previous speakers have called it, the goodies. Also, it's where all the action will take place, will be on the Tenderfy platform. Some people have, I think, asked about exhibit spaces. So some parts of the event platform is still kind of being developed. We were so excited to, I guess, kind of launch it and show, I think particularly the sessions, which have been kind of percolating now since January. It's been a lot of activity in terms of developing those. So we were keen to release that as soon as possible. So there's a lot of information, particularly on the pre-recorded and the live sessions that I would say, when you sign up and you get the instructions on how to access the platform, then please make that a priority. So far, we've had over 800 registrations now, just within kind of 48 hours since we've launched it. So very, very important. Someone is asking how final date to send all the links and attachments. Yes, so I think this was an organizer question. Yes, that's something that we covered. We've also got, so I mean, as one of Shaida mentions in the comments, also, please make it your responsibility to share wide and within your networks. You can be influencers too in terms of sharing that this is up and running. I mean, the fact that we had to go virtual this year is also kind of an opportunity that we can be as inclusive as possible. And just to say that the platform itself really has no limit as far as we've been told by the company. So we can hopefully accept as many as register, although we will keep an eye on the numbers. The second thing is that the only limitations is maybe some of the sessions, depending on the licenses they're using, there may be a first come, first serve policy if it reaches certain limits, but we've recommended that we have a capacity of at least 1,000. So let's have a look. What else do we have? Zoom meeting link. So just to say about the way things will work in terms of the technology, and maybe we can cover that a little bit as well in the next item, is that everything will be streamed through the Attendify platform, so that there should be no reason to sort of go outside. There's a Q&A and everything, so everything's nicely contained. It's not the case of having to, accept different invitations for different webinars. It's all packaged within this platform to make it easier, streamlined. And there's different sort of ways. It's similar to the way you might work with social media, like Facebook. There's different ways in which you can interact with people who are participating with the sessions themselves. And that's, that will be covered later. So don't be shy. I don't know if there's any further questions. I don't see many. I don't know. Paul Fariel, was there anything else? Oh, someone's just asked about registration opened. Yes, for registration, you can pick those details up either from the website. So that's undataforum.org. And there's a screen there that's, gives you the button to where to register. Again, this will be covered to the next item. And as I said, from that, you will get, it's a two-step process of getting your ticket, and then the ticket goes to the instructions. Actually, I'm getting lots of private messages. Paul Clariel, did you want to answer some questions? Have you been receiving them privately?
Thanks, Ian. I haven't any question privately, but I'd just like to respond to this question that once you register to the forum, you would have access to all of the sessions. So you don't need to separately register for each individual session. Yes, perhaps we could go over the Attendify platform and then give the participants more time to ask questions, and also if they have any questions related to the Attendify platform. So I don't see any more questions. So perhaps can we move to the next slide? Yes, thank you so much. So we're using the Attentify platform. So the platform integrates all of the sessions that we have, the pre-recorded as well as the live sessions into one platform. So all of the networking opportunities that you would have, the exhibit spaces that Shaida mentioned, they would be integrated into the Attentify platform, and within every session, you would also see the speaker profiles for each of the sessions. And you can also interact with those speakers through their user profiles, either messaging them privately, or you could also message them or message publicly on the activity stream. We can go over the platform. Paul, if you can kindly share the web interface of the platform. Yes, thank you so much. So this is what the platform looks like. So for as you can see on the right-hand side, we have the navigation pane, which has the different elements that the web platform offers. So we have the activity stream, which is where you can post the messages publicly to all of the community who are registered within the Attentify platform. And then we have on the left-hand side, we also have the pre-recorded. If we click on the pre-recorded, we would see that we have the pre-recorded videos, the sessions here listed, and we would upload these on October 12th. So they will be available for you to see on October 12th and at your own schedule. And within October, if you click on one of the sessions, please. Yeah, so for example, if we pick this session, you can see on the right-hand side, you also have a chat window. So the session organizers would also be posting messages. So if you are interested in any specific session, follow the chat as well. There might be opportunities to interact with the speakers through these chat windows as well, through live sessions or any other sessions that they're organizing. And then if we go on the program live, you can see that we have the main program or the forum, which is from the 19th to the 21st of October. So if you click on one of the sessions, you would see that you have the session description, you have the speaker profiles here, and over here, once the program has gone live, the session has gone live, you will see a video integrated within the session. For example, we have the opening session here and we have put in a video here. So this is how the videos would appear for you when the program has become live. We are also streaming the current webinar on live right now on the pre-recorded. So if you see there's the current one which is streaming live here, there's a bit of a lag of about 10 seconds, but you can see that the WebEx is being streamed live within the platform. So the attendees do not need the WebEx link to join. You just have to register through the Attentify platform to access all of these different resources that we have out there. Then I will also go on the exhibit space. So we also have the exhibitors here. So we have various organizations who provided their information on what offerings they have. So we're also updating this more as we receive more information from the exhibitors. So this more information will be updated later in this month. So keep visiting our platform to see for more updates and look out for more updates. Other than that, you can also message, for example, Paul, if you can click on my profile and you can send me a private message just to show how it works. So you can also interact with the community and network with various people of interest that you would like through this private messaging as well. So feel free to explore this website, this platform, and there's a lot that we have there to offer. Yes, so Paul, if we could go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Yes, so next slide. Yeah, so I already spoke a little bit about this. So we launched the registration on September 15th. So beginning September 15th, you have access to the networking opportunities. That is to the activity stream within each session, private messaging, or through group messaging and channels. The last one of the features is only available on the smartphone app. So both the Identify platform has a web interface as well as the mobile interface. So you can use both of the ones when you register to the platform. Next slide. A little bit about how to register. We have to register using the link which is provided here. This is the same link that is available on our website on the homepage. We've also circulated this widely through our network via email. So you might have received this link through various avenues. So register yourself. Once you register yourself, you'll receive a ticket in your email. So once you receive the ticket in your an email, you have to follow the instructions on the ticket to create your own profile by signing up to the Identify platform. It's very important for you to do the step number 2, otherwise you will not have access to the Identify platform. So just merely registering for the event will not provide you access to the Identify platform. So when you create your profile, you would have the option to put your picture up, your little short bio, where you're from, so that the community within the platform also know what you do, where you're from, which organization you represent, and if they would like to connect with you, they would have good information to do that. So we've tried to provide you as many networking opportunities through this forum to kind of close to replicate the physical forum, or maybe in some ways more outreach to different data and statistics communities by just the mere fact of you having access to it at home. So please register and explore, and if you have any questions, reach out to us and we can facilitate anything. Also, I welcome any questions in the chat window. And we can respond to any of them. I see that Ian has been responding to them. So Ian, would you like to respond to any more questions in the chat window?
Yeah, I was about to respond to one about how long is the platform live. So Attendify gives you live access for about a year. I think we'll keep things going until probably early next year. We'll see. I mean, how the things develop. If it becomes continue the lively discussion, but certainly then we will maybe change into a new event, a new platform once we start preparing for the physical forum. But certainly, everything doesn't cut off on the 21st. It remains, exists, and even eventually, I think it gets sort of mothballed and preserved, and maybe some of this content will transfer back to our website as well after the forum is kind of done and dusted. Thanks for that question. Okay, someone is asking that they've registered and have a ticket, but no link. So on there, there should have been a link that gives you to where you have to log in. Fario, do we have an example of a ticket? I mean, I think it says it here, yeah. But there should be some instructions on the place in Attendify especially if you're using the web browser. Somehow it's a little bit easier to access. When you're using the app, you kind of have to search for it.
Yes, so I don't have access to a ticket right now, but
we can maybe show sort of example. But I'll follow on with another question. So I think someone is asking about whether the sessions will be in multiple languages. Some of that will depend on the session organizer themselves, where we've sort of certainly said, if you can provide other language sort of subtitles or something, then that would be really good. For our organized sessions, we are going to, after we make the recording, I believe if you in YouTube you can have these sort of live captioning in different languages. And then maybe if there's certain clips, we might sort of do something a little bit more formal. But at the moment, yeah, we're sort of relying on the technology that we have, which is mostly the free to use stuff. So we also got some questions still about the exhibitors. Yeah, I think I answered this earlier. For the exhibitors, if you're interested, then please email us at dataforum@un.org. Then we can sort of give you some further details, and if you'd like to exhibit. So someone I think mentioned the code doesn't work. I think I know what this refers to. So if you're going through the app, so there's two ways of searching for the event. That you either search for it through an event code, which has a certain field that you have to search through, or you can just free search it as data forum, and then you'll pick it up as the event. Okay, Kareem is asking it. I don't know. Have you seen any other questions, Fariel, or care to comment?
No, I don't see any further questions. Yes, okay, there you go. Paul pulled out the ticket, so
Perfect.
we can quickly go out with that. Yes, so Paul, would you like to go over the ticket quickly? I cannot hear you, Paul. Okay, so
sorry.
yes, now we can. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. This is the ticket that opens up after getting the email confirmation after registering, and pretty much depending on what platform you'll be using, you just go on to the link. If you're going with the desktop, if you're opening this in a desktop, you go to this. There's a link there to open this page, and well, it won't work now because I'm already a existing user. So, but it would then open another Attendify screen where you create your profile, and then after that you will then have access to the platform. But yeah, sorry, I can't do the live demonstration now because yeah, I am already a existing user. But yeah, that was the ticket that you get from the email confirmation after registering. Over to you. Sorry.
Thank you, Paul. I don't see any further questions. It's on the recording. The recording would be available on the website as well as the Attendify platform once you register. So feel free to access it on either of the platforms.
Sorry. Okay. What I did was I logged out of my profile. So this is when you open the ticket, the link. This is what you should get into, and this is where you create your email to this is where you enter your email to start creating your Attendify profile. I just wanted to point that out.
Great, thank you. Ian, have you received any further questions?
Not really, but I mean, just to say, people probably think the registration process a little bit onerous. The fact it's 2 stages, you're submitting your details. It's just the case that we kind of need it to keep the numbers, an eye on the numbers. So appreciate everyone's patience with it. It just also helps us to collect a couple of extra demographic details that is useful for our own monitoring. So thank you.
Thank you. If we have no further question, I'd hand it over back to Gabriella. Over to you, Gabriella.
Thank you very much. We learned a lot of practical information about how to join, and thanks for answering the questions. We are getting close to the end, so now it's time to give the floor to Francesca Perucci, who is the Chief of the Development Data and Outreach Branch of the UN Statistics Division, and she's the head of the UN World Data Forum Secretariat since its inception, and she's the most powerful driving force behind all activities related to the World Data Forum. Francesca, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Gabriella, and greetings to all colleagues from every corner of the world. First of all, allow me to thank you, Gabriella, as a very, very effective chair of the program committee. The program committee has done a fantastic job this year, and also the other members of the committee, Shaida and Johannes, also super helpful and very active members of the committee and of this community behind the forum for many years. Also the session organizers, Anna and Amir, thank you so much for sharing your priorities and the highlights of your sessions. I'm sure you've done a lot to encourage participation. Your sessions are incredibly interesting. And all my colleagues from the Secretariat, just to stress again that the virtual forum is really a unique opportunity to engage with data experts and users from different parts of the world, more than the physical event, I would say. As some of my colleagues already highlighted, this is perhaps even more inclusive than a physical event, giving the opportunity to different people who would not perhaps be able to travel to actually take a very active part in the deliberations and in the discussions. We'll have speakers from very different parts of government, civil society, private sector, academia, the media. And the idea is really to hear about very concrete experiences and recent developments in the data world. But we also have high-level speakers, high-level representation from international, regional agencies, national governments, private sector. And I think this is important because we do need the commitment of our leaders in moving this very important agenda forward. And we also need the commitment for more and better funding. So we do need to hear from the high-level speakers of this event. This is a very vibrant, dynamic community, and as Johannes said, it's also fun. We really look forward to expanding it and strengthening our collaboration and our connections with all of you. So I encourage you all to tune in, join, explore, contribute. You heard about the useful app that we have, and I hope you really find it easy to navigate and useful. So we all look forward to your participation. Follow our Twitter handle at UN Data Forum and our website for further information. Stay tuned, and thank you so much to all of you for joining us today. Over to you, Gabriella. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesca. And I think it's just time to close today's session. I would like to thank all who were interested and joined us for this hour and a half. I would like to thank UN Statistics Division and the core team of UN World Data Forum Secretariat for the enormous and excellent job that they are doing in organizing the World Data Forum. And thanks to the speakers of today's session. I hope you all found the program of the World Data Forum attractive. I'm very sure, based on the experiences we had before during the two previous World Data Fora, that the third Data Forum will be as interesting, as exciting, and as useful for all the participants as were the previous ones. And as Francesca also pointed out, this will be really the most inclusive World Data Forum because of its virtual nature. There will be so much more participants will be able to join us, and all participants who wouldn't have been able to join for financial or other reasons in a physical forum, they will be able now to join the virtual forum. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the screens during the virtual forum, and I wish you all a good day today, and a very interesting forum in October, also which is joined by my World Statistics Day. So that is also an important event that we will have during the time of the forum. Goodbye, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Gabriela.
Thank you, Gabriela. Thanks, everyone. Be safe, be well. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.